Join us for a first look of the all-new Nissan Qashqai or Rogue Sport. Let's go! In the front, the all-new generation here looks, on the one hand, sleeker as for the design lines, LED daytime running light, slimmer headlamps, LED is standard, magnetic blue is the typical Thomas blue color for today. On the other hand, it's also bolder because it is wider and also a little bit longer, so about 3.5 centimeters or 1.5 inches wider and longer than the previous generation. The length, now just a little bit longer, 4 meters 43, 14 foot 5 or 174 inches. The chassis is now 50% stiffer, so this will probably help in the agile driving experience. Wheels come from 17 to maximum now 20 inch. You can see them right here, so they fill up the whole wheel arch. Looks really sporty. Of course, if you want more riding comfort, you would rather go for smaller wheels. But they look best, yeah. Typical crossover SUV wheel arches, and interesting also with the stamped in structure right here. And once again here, very consistent in the design and also a little bit playful. For example, with this stamped Qashqai logo right there in the front. In the rear, a more modern look here with horizontally drawn tail lamps. A new design trend we've seen with almost all new vehicles. And in the lower part here, silver contrast and thank God no fake exhaust tips. What's interesting technology-wise is that with the front-wheel drive models you get a torsion beam rear axle, so it's a less sophisticated rear suspension. And with the all-wheel drive models you get a multi-link rear axle, so this will give you more comfort, more dampening comfort at the rear axle. As for engines, it's all about electrification. By the way, we have a battery charger right here. Don't be irritated because the car is running in the studio with lights and screens and so on all day. So you have two choices. This here today is the pure petrol engine, 1.3 liter 4-cylinder with 140 horsepower, front-wheel drive manual gearbox, or with 158 horsepower. And that is then not only front-wheel drive but also available with automatic gearbox, CVT and all-wheel drive. So that's the one choice, but it's already mild hybrid system for some recuperation. Then there's the new so-called e-power drivetrain. Have a 1.5 liter combustion engine, a 3-cylinder petrol engine, which is just serving as a generator, has no connection to the wheels. And then you have an electric motor, 190 horsepower, that is powering the front wheels. So the combustion engine generates the power for the electric motor. You do not plug it in, but still you drive as it would be an electric vehicle. But of course you still have some noise because the combustion engine is still running as a generator. This is the car key, it's the old one, it has not been revised. Then, wow, the magnetic blue is really beautiful car, right? Sorry. Then door closing sound, sounds quite solid. And the doors, they move quite lightly. Then inside the doors, soft touch materials, leather red being used. And here also it's good that we not only have this piano lacquer, but we have a structure inside. This is also memory seating then. And a really completely new interior. We have a flat bottom steering wheel with new buttons right here. These buttons, how they are controlled and so on, and the haptic feedback they give feels more or better quality-wise. And headroom here with 1.86 or 6'1", still okay. There is this panoramic roof available. You can go for that. It's an option, but you cannot open it. So it's either, like this, open, or you can close it with a shade, but you cannot open it for the fresh air. So let me close the shade at least. Have to hold it, obviously. There we go. So now it's closed and protected against the sun. And when you want to open it, there's one click and that's just it. Interior overview, completely new. So this has nothing to do with the predecessor. You can see here, you either get an 8-inch screen or a new 9-inch screen. That's a little bit bigger than, and also has a GPS. Soon more details to that. Then on the left side, you either get analog screen with a small TFT, or here the full digital instruments, 12.3-inch. Then the new steering wheel, right side controlling the cruise control or the assistance systems, picking up the phone, voice control, left side for the volume adjustment and also for controlling some of the digital instruments. Then in the middle area, you can see here, this is also a nice bluish leatherette cover, and it looks really more sophisticated. So we see with the Japanese manufacturers in general, they step up the level in the interior build quality, whereas, for example, we've seen some of the German brands remained the same or maybe even took, cost savings and went back a step, like with new VWs. Then here, with the temperature control, it's also a good feeling for that, and a nice straightforward design. Vent strength right here. You also have a heated steering wheel. Everything is, accessible in an easy way. Now the new infotainment system. First of all, we still have physical buttons here for the volume. That's good. And here also for example, zooming in and out in the map, and also you can navigate by that if you don't want to use the touchscreen, but both is possible. The touchscreen could be a little bit more responsive as for the loading times. However, the menu structure is not too complicated. You have these hotkeys in the lower area. Here the camera with a better resolution. This is a fake drone view from above. That's also new. And then here once again the main menu. Yeah, it could be a little bit faster, definitely, but still better than before. Here in the 9-inch version you also have a car inbuilt GPS. Once again, sometimes a little bit laggy, but at least it's clear to read. Then the new optional digital instruments, or they also come in the higher trim levels, look quite fancy in this view. However, if you have the map view, this looks a little bit outdated, but it's of course good that you can put the map in your line of sight. You remember it's a little bit longer now. Wheelbase also has grown, so yeah, about 2 centimeters or an inch. And that also helps us for the rear. First of all, look at that, almost 90 degrees opening for the door, a little bit less, but it's definitely a big improvement, so you can easily get in and out. Also for the child seats and so on. By the way, here the rear materials, this is soft touch here, this is nice. Also with this blue shade, just the top part then is hard pack, but good materials also here for the door handle. And then a great access once again to the rear. And let's see. So legroom wise, then a slight improvement. However, these are also quite thick seats, but you see with tall adults, as I have the seat set to my position, still some legroom left. And headroom is close, but still works. So yeah, overall a cozy position here, and then a great look through the panoramic roof. It's time to fight with the trunk or the boot. So let's open it. Electric tailgate is an option. Beep, beep, beep. Also now opens in a more sophisticated way than before. 400 liters, now 74 liters more. So that's a big step forward. Here the normal length is about 34 inches or 85 centimeters. And the total length here, when I fold the seats right here, is 65 inches or 164 centimeters. And the backpack can be put in like this. You can see this could be a little bit close if you have these in place. This is for an even loading still, which is on the one hand quite cool, and In most situations really handy, so easier getting things in and out. And now to our conclusion for today with the all-new Nissan Qashqai or Rogue Sport. Well, exterior-wise, really a very consistent design. It has worked before, now I think it works even better. Really striking with these 20-inch wheels. However, I think if you have this 19-inch compromise, you will still get a good look, but they have a little bit more dampening comfort than from the wheels. Then on the interior, the scheme is a little bit more space, more usability, at the same time a higher build quality. As for the infotainment, I think you can also live with a smaller one and then just use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto GPS as for that. The new digital instruments are of course also quite fancy, and the head-up display option which is really projected into the windscreen. Then electrification. As for the engines, that's really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to drive both different drivetrains, especially this new e-power drivetrain, which is then something, electric car driving feeling, instant torque and so on. At the same time, you have the generator. Advantage is that you are basically good as for the charging infrastructure because you don't need one. You just go to the normal petrol station. On the other hand, there's still the sound and noise and of course the petrol use, but really interesting bridge technology, and we'll present all of that to you very, very soon. So, what about you? What do you think about this all-new generation? Join us in the comments, and of course join us soon at the driving review. If you watch this episode at a later stage, maybe it's already online, so it's always worth to browse our channels and also check out the video description for more information about our channel and also link to our sub-channels. Thank you so much for tuning in today. See you next time.